Everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. So Claressa Shields was on Instagram Live giving a recount about what happened with her boxing match. But what I really wanted to focus on was what was going on between Big Lex, Summer None Other, Lemmy Plummer, and herself. And she basically gave a recount as to what happened between her and Lemmy Plummer. Lemmy came up to her. It seemed like he was being a little messy, letting her know that something might be going down between Summer and Big Lex. And Claressa had Summer's back and basically let him know that, you know what, nothing was going to happen to Summer on her watch. Love to hear that. I loved hearing that. Loved hearing that. Guys, check this out.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. Hey y'all, what's up, Wookie Butts? What's up, Gloaties? Y'all, I'm just checking in with y'all. Good morning. DJ Robert, what up? DJ Robert Rob. Hey y'all. Yo, last night was such a movie. What else could be? Who is that? Who? Oh, Frazier. Hold on, y'all. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna carry y'all with me. Y'all have to go live today. Oh my God, this little flippy thing you get in my face. I ain't come without yet. It's a little flippy thing. We gonna talk today, y'all. We got some stuff to talk about today.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, I'm on live. Huh?
That's right. Yeah, so let me show you. So you don't gotta unwrap it, but
I'm on live too. No, you okay? Okay. Lavish, okay.
From the Lavish Factory, the second on Michigan. I got some fire merchants. You see, I got some.
Okay, that's your heart.
You can Claressa man for like, I know what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Can you do it?
Okay. Let me. I literally just went live. Hey y'all. Listen, I wanted to get on here and just say, oh wait. When I tell you this has been one of the best fight weeks, one of the best styling, one of the, listen, I had a ball. I want to thank, hey Charmaine Bay, girl. Y'all, first of all, the walkout was crazy. I walked out there and got in that ring. Hey Kaya. Girl, I walked out there and got in that ring and looked around. I said, oh, I seen so many minks and furs, honey. I seen so many minks and furs. I'm like, where is we at? Is we at the first show? Is we at Miss Madam Fur? Is we at the damn Fancy Success Fur? Because baby, when I tell you I seen so many different color minks, listen, honey, child, everybody looks so damn good. Y'all look so good last night. Oh my God. And then Boosie came in with the all red thing. Boy, came out there rapping too. I had a good time, y'all. It was a good old street, bro. I'm glad that franchise came with that. Come with that I like. Oh, I love a good old fight, baby. That's my problem, y'all. I know I be scaring the out of some of y'all when I be fighting. But y'all, I be in there having a ball. I know some of them things I was in there laughing. Hey, Auntie Monique. Girl, y'all, can we talk about how Kelly Price sang that damn Black National Anthem? How she tricked everybody, man, think it was the national anthem, then went to the black one. Kelly!
Because when Claressa Shields speaks, it's never casual. It's never soft, and it's definitely never background noise. So when she publicly backed Summer None Other before the bell even rang, the energy shifted like someone turned the arena lights up to stadium mode. These weren't polite words. These weren't good luck emojis. This felt like loyalty with gloves on, and let's be honest, when the Guo puts her name behind you, that's not support. That's pressure. That's spotlight. That's everybody's watching now. Was this pure sisterhood? Was this strategic alignment? Or was this the kind of pre-fight energy that makes opponents nervous before they even touch gloves? Because this isn't reality TV drama. This makes the Kardashians look like a knitting circle. The bell hasn't even rung yet. And somehow the tension already feels championship level. The moment didn't arrive quietly. It came wrapped in confidence, conviction, and just enough intensity to make the boxing world pause in its scroll. Claressa Shields didn't offer a casual good luck. She delivered backing with presence. And when someone with her resume speaks publicly, it doesn't feel like encouragement. It feels like endorsement stamped in gold. Summer, none other's upcoming fight was already generating respectable buzz. But once Claressa attached her voice to it, the conversation changed lanes. Suddenly, this wasn't just about preparation and weigh-ins. It became about alignment, influence, and narrative elevation. Supporters celebrated instantly. They framed it as powerful solidarity in a sport that often forces women to carve space the hard way. To them, this was champion energy, uplifting rising talent. It wasn't controversy, it was evolution. Critics, however, had questions. Why so loud? Why so public? Why right before the bell? Social media rarely sees peer support without scanning for hidden strategy. In the age of branding, every word is examined like it's part of a marketing plan. But here's what separates this moment from generic pre-fight hype. Claressa Shields isn't just a name, she's a standard. Olympic gold. Undisputed titles. Dominance. When she backs someone, that support carries weight like a championship belt draped over the shoulder, and weight changes everything. Summer, none other didn't just gain encouragement. She inherited expectation. The spotlight doubled overnight. Because when the GWOAT publicly stands behind you, fans don't just watch, they evaluate. The internet reacted in layers. Boxing pages reposted the quotes with dramatic captions. Debate threads dissected tone and timing. Some saw mentorship energy, others saw strategic alliance. A few even suggested it was psychological warfare aimed at the opponent, because in combat sports, words are rarely neutral. Claressa's delivery didn't feel passive, it felt protective. It felt like a signal to the room. Not aggressive, but firm. The kind of energy that says, she's not alone. And that shifts dynamics. The opponent now faces more than Summer in the ring. They face the narrative of backing, the symbolism of endorsement, the pressure of proving doubters wrong while carrying extra expectation. That psychological layer is real. Supporters argue that confidence breeds performance, that having a decorated champion publicly show belief can fuel focus instead of pressure. They see this as empowerment in action. Critics counter that endorsements can feel like extra rounds before the fight begins. That added spotlight magnifies every mistake. That public backing doesn't soften punches. Both perspectives hold weight. What's fascinating is how quickly this story moved beyond technique and training. It became about influence, about whether this marks the beginning of a visible alliance in women's boxing, something that historically hasn't been highlighted enough. Women in combat sports often battle for visibility as much as victory. So when a dominant figure publicly aligns with another fighter, it feels like movement, not just moment. The conversation expanded beyond this single fight. Analysts began asking if we're witnessing the formation of a new power circle, a support system that challenges the isolation narrative often pushed onto women athletes. But others warned about reading too deeply into it. They argued that sometimes support is simply support, not a coalition, not a statement. Just respect recognizing potential. Still, the timing amplified intrigue. Pre-fight weeks are sensitive. Energy is calibrated carefully. So any strong public endorsement becomes part of the build-up, whether intended or not. Summer now carries amplified expectations. Fans will watch not just for victory, but for dominance worthy of the backing she received. That's the unspoken reality of high-profile support, and yet, that pressure can sharpen focus. Claressa's words may serve as armor instead of weight, a reminder that belief at the highest level exists, a signal that this moment is bigger than one bout. The suspense now lives in performance. Can Summer translate that endorsement into composure? Does the spotlight energize or overwhelm? Will critics be silenced or validated? The narrative is forming before the bell rings, and that's powerful, because in boxing, mental battles begin long before physical ones. Confidence, alignment, and perception shape atmosphere right now. The atmosphere feels charged, not chaotic, but electric. Claressa Shields' backing didn't create controversy. It created conversation. It elevated the stakes without escalating tension, but elevated stakes change how fights are remembered. If Summer wins convincingly, the endorsement becomes prophetic. If she struggles, critics will revisit the moment as pressure catalyst. That's the dual edge of public support. This isn't just about loyalty, it's about legacy proximity. When a dominant champion publicly aligns with a fighter, it subtly connects their narratives, because once the clips of Claressa's backing started circulating, the boxing internet didn't just nod in approval, it turned the moment into a cultural event. Reaction channels went live. Debate threads multiplied. Analysts started speaking like this was the prelude to something historic. Memes rolled in, but not the mocking kind. These were cinematic. Side-by-side edits of Claressa's biggest victories next to Summer's training footage. Captions reading "Co-sign of the century." The internet treated it like royalty had just knighted a contender, but not everyone was applauding. Some critics argued that the endorsement raised the stakes unnecessarily. They claimed public backing like that creates pressure heavier than a championship belt. Now she has to dominate, they said. A close win won't be enough. And that's where things got layered up, because in combat sports, expectation can be louder than an opponent's punches. When a decorated legend puts belief behind you, the audience doesn't just want victory. They want proof of greatness. Supporters countered fiercely. They framed the narrative as empowerment, not pressure. They argued that boxing needs visible unity among elite women. That public solidarity builds the sport's credibility and star power. The debate shifted beyond this one fight. Suddenly, it became about the structure of women's boxing itself, about whether established champions should publicly uplift rising talent, about whether collaboration strengthens visibility. Claressa's name carries gravitational pull. She's not just a champion, she's a headline generator. So when she aligns with someone, the spotlight doesn't gently expand, it explodes outward, and Summer now stands in that explosion. Analysts began dissecting body language in interviews, tone in social media posts, even the pacing of training footage. The culture treats boxing build-up like a chess match, and every move gets interpreted. What made this moment more compelling was the lack of hostility. There was no direct shade, no dramatic call-outs, just strong backing. And that calm intensity unsettled some people, because we're conditioned to expect chaos with virality. When support trends instead of scandal, it feels unfamiliar, almost suspicious. But here's the truth: support can be just as powerful as rivalry. The opponent now faces a narrative challenge. Not only must they prepare physically, but they must navigate a storyline where their opponent carries elite endorsement energy. Fans began asking strategic questions. Does this alliance suggest future collaborations? Could this signal a broader shift in the sport's power dynamics? Is this the beginning of a visible sisterhood era in women's boxing? Speculation stretched beyond the ring. Celebrity-adjacent voices chimed in with subtle commentary about loyalty and confidence. No direct names mentioned, but the timing kept engagement high. Meanwhile, critics warned about overhyping the moment. They argued that performance still matters most, that no endorsement throws punches for you, and they're not wrong, but boxing isn't only physical, it's psychological, it's atmospheric. It's narrative. When the arena fills, fans won't just be watching Summer fight. They'll be watching the embodiment of Claressa's belief. Every round becomes layered with expectation. That pressure can forge diamonds, or can crack them. The internet now waits in anticipation mode. Not outrage, not conflict, just suspense. Because if Summer performs spectacularly, this endorsement becomes legendary foresight. If she falters, critics will circle back to the weight of public backing. That's the razor's edge of visibility. What's fascinating is how the conversation matured from "why did she say that?" to "what does this mean long term?" The narrative has already expanded beyond one fight night. Claressa's backing may represent something bigger, a signal that elite women in boxing are reshaping how they show up for one another publicly, or it could simply be one champion recognizing potential. Either way, it shifted the spotlight dramatically. The bell hasn't rung yet, but the storyline has already been written into the build-up. The stakes feel heavier. The audience feels louder. The energy feels elevated. As the pre-fight buzz settles into that tense quiet before the storm, the real impact of Claressa Shields' backing starts to crystallize, not in noise, not in memes, but in consequence, because when a dominant champion publicly aligns herself with you, the aftermath isn't just about fight night. It's about perception shifts. It's about how your name moves in rooms you've never even stepped into. Summer, none other, isn't just preparing for an opponent anymore. She's preparing for amplified expectation. Every jab will be analyzed through the lens of endorsement. Every round will feel like it carries double weight. That's the power of proximity to greatness. If Summer dominates, the narrative becomes prophetic. Claressa saw it first. The GWOT knew. Headlines will frame the performance as validation. The cosign transforms into a milestone moment in her career timeline. If the fight is competitive, close, or messy, critics will reinterpret everything. They'll say the pressure was too heavy, but the spotlight magnified flaws. That public backing inflated perception beyond reality. And that's the brutal honesty of combat. Sports storytelling endorsement doesn't soften punches. It intensifies scrutiny. For Claressa Shields, this moment also carries subtle weight. When you publicly back someone, your credibility quietly attaches to their outcome. Her brand is built on dominance and accuracy. Her confidence isn't casual. So this isn't just Summer's moment. It's shared narrative territory. If the performance shines, Claressa's influence grows. She becomes not only a champion, but a recognized talent spotter. A power figure shaping the sport's trajectory. If it falters, critics will whisper about overreach, not loudly, not dramatically, but subtly. That's the chessboard effect of public alignment. The broader cultural layer is even more interesting. Women's boxing has historically fought for visibility, for equal pay, for respect. When elite fighters visibly support one another, it challenges the narrative of isolation. It suggests unity. And unity reshapes power structures. This moment may signal a quiet shift, a future where top-tier women boxers build visible alliances rather than silent competition. That possibility alone has industry observers paying attention. Promoters notice synergy. Media outlets notice storylines. Brands notice influence alignment. Public backing isn't just emotional, it's strategic currency, but the foundation still rests in performance. Summer's composure under this intensified spotlight will define the chapter. Can she convert endorsement into execution? Can she carry expectation like armor instead of burden? Because expectation is heavy. It sharpens some fighters. It suffocates others. The internet now waits for clarity through action. The debates will quiet once gloves touch. Speculation will transform into scorecards, and that's when the narrative either solidifies or fractures. What's undeniable is this: Claressa's words changed the atmosphere. They elevated the moment before a single punch was thrown. They turned pre-fight build-up into cultural conversation. That's influence, not controversy. Influence. And influence is a rare currency. If Summer rises to the moment, this becomes a defining chapter in her ascent. A symbolic passing of confidence. From established greatness to emerging force. If the night becomes more complicated, the story becomes about resilience instead of validation. Either way, it won't be neutral, because the spotlight has already intensified. For Claressa, the impact lingers beyond this event. Public backing reinforces her presence as a central pillar of the sport. She's not just defending titles. She's shaping narratives. That dual role carries weight. The fight hasn't happened yet, but the stakes feel championship level already. Not because of trash talk, not because of scandal, because of belief. Belief from someone whose resume demands attention. This moment will be remembered regardless of outcome. As the night a legend publicly stood 10 toes down for a rising fighter. And when history looks back, it won't just remember the result. It will remember the energy. Because in boxing, legacies aren't only built in the ring, they're built in moments of alignment. Right now, the arena lights are about to dim. The crowd will rise. The bell will ring. And when it does, all the commentary, all the analysis, all the anticipation will condense into action. Was this pure champion solidarity? Or did Claressa just raise the pressure to championship level before the first punch even flies? Did that cosign empower Summer Nalova, or did it quietly double the expectations overnight? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. Is this the beginning of a powerful women's boxing alliance? Or just a moment that the internet amplified into legend status? If you made it this far, you're not just here for the highlight reel, you're here for the breakdown. So smash that like button like it owes you money. Hit subscribe like the next Fight Night twist is already loading. And turn on notifications, because in this sport, everything can change in one round. Around here, we don't just recap fights. We decode energy, we analyze psychology. We track narrative shifts before they become history. Because boxing isn't just about punches, it's about pressure, perception, and power moves. The bell hasn't rung yet, but the stakes are ready. Feel heavyweight. Stay locked in because when champions speak, it echoes. And when fights unfold under that kind of spotlight, careers can shift in a single night.